Hey friends, I'm Parrihoff, and welcome to the Parrihoff Collective, where therapy, wellness, and creativity come together to help you write your own story. Hey friends, and welcome back to Therapy Thursday with Parrihoff, helping you write your own story. Today, we're talking about something that may challenge us a little bit. Not because it's easy, not because it's comfortable, but because it's necessary. Today's conversation is, at some point, it's your turn. Explaining isn't the same thing as changing. And before anybody gets defensive, let me say this up front. This is not about blame. This is not about minimizing trauma. This is not about pretending difficult things didn't happen, because trauma is real. Loss is real, betrayal is real, abuse is real, disappointment is real, and pain is real. The question isn't whether those things happened. The question is, what am I doing with what happened to me? Your story matters. Your experiences matter. Your pain deserves to be acknowledged. In fact, I think one of the reasons people seek therapy, support, coaching, mentorship, or trusted friendships is because they need a safe place to tell their story. And that's healthy. People need to feel seen. People need to feel heard. People need language for what happened to them. But sometimes we fall in love with the story. We become so comfortable telling the story because without it, who am I? People can tell you what happened, who hurt them, why they're struggling, where the pattern came from, what their trigger is, why they react the way they do, and all of that is important. But eventually, the conversation has to move from what happened to you to what are you doing with what happened to you. Your story isn't supposed to be your identity. I think that's one of the biggest mistakes we make, is allowing our pain to become our identity. We move from I experienced trauma to I am my trauma. We move from I was hurt to I am permanently broken. And those are not the same thing. Your story deserves to be heard, but your story was never meant to become your permanent address. Explaining isn't the same as changing. This is the heart of today's conversation. Understanding why you do something is important. Understanding where a behavior comes from is important. Understanding your triggers is important. But understanding alone doesn't create transformation. A powerful insight isn't the same thing as growth. Knowledge isn't the same thing as healing. And explanation isn't the same thing as change. Let's talk about one of my least favorite phrases. That's just how I am. Because sometimes, yeah, that statement is true. But sometimes it's an excuse. Sometimes that's just who I am. That's just how I am really means I've decided not to work on this. Now hear me carefully. I'm not talking about personality. I'm talking about behaviors that consistently hurt you and other people. If you're constantly rude, emotionally reactive, disrespectful, boundary violating, controlling, mean, unavailable, then simply being aware of it isn't enough. Growth is required. Self-awareness is not the finish line. And I think that's where a lot of us get stuck. We become incredibly self-aware. We can tell you our attachment style, our diagnosis, our trauma history, our triggers, our family dynamics, and that's wonderful. But self-awareness is the starting point, not the destination, because healing requires participation. We have more tools than ever. Now, I understand not everyone has equal access to resources, but for many of us, we have more tools available than ever before. We have therapy, we have counseling, we have coaching, we have books, podcasts, support groups, mentors, online resources, faith communities. The question becomes, what am I doing with the tools available to me? Because information without application doesn't change much. Healing is a decision. And this is the part that we don't like to talk about. Healing is often less about motivation and more about decisions. Sometimes healing looks like setting boundaries, apologizing, taking accountability, going to therapy, asking for help, changing your environment, changing your habits, learning new coping skills. And none of these things happen by accident. Accountability is not judgment. I think one reason people become defensive is because they confuse accountability with judgment. The moment someone asks, "What are you doing to change?" they hear, "Pain doesn't matter." But that's not what accountability is. Accountability says, "I believe your pain is real, and I believe you're capable of growth." Those two things can exist at the same time. Pain deserves compassion. Growth requires participation. I want you to hear that. Your pain deserves compassion. Your wounds deserve compassion. Your story deserves compassion. But growth requires participation. Healing isn't denying your story. Healing is refusing to let your story be the final chapter. Okay, my final thoughts. Your past may explain where you started. It doesn't have to determine where you finish. At some point, the responsibility shifts. Not because what happened to you wasn't real, not because your pain doesn't matter, but because your future deserves more than a lifetime of surviving. At some point, it's your turn. Your turn to choose healing. Your turn to choose growth. Your turn to choose accountability. Your turn to become better than the version of yourself that was created by your wounds. Healing isn't your fault, but healing is your responsibility. This has been Parrihoff with the Parrihoff Project, reminding you that you always have the power to write your own story. Ta for now.